Welcome to Behind the Sermon and More. Man, I'm excited today to have my friend and fellow staff member, Jared Wiedenroth, with us. Jared, welcome, bro.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. So Jared serves as our discipleship and connections pastor. And you've done several things here. You've served as deacon. You have served as kids pastor. You've served as discipleship connections pastor. You've served as life group leader, which you continue to serve as life group leader.
Yeah.
Amongst many other things.
Yeah.
So thank you for all you do, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Happy to serve.
Jared, you are from up
Boston.
north. Boston.
Boston. Yep.
It's awesome having you and Kevin O'Brien in the same room.
Oh, man. Our Yankees and Red Sox banter, nowadays it's non-existent.
Yeah.
But the Red Sox are terrible. But yeah.
But the gospel unites, you know?
It does.
So
It
you
does.
guys can still work together, be in the same room.
Yep.
Love Jesus together.
I don't mess with him because he's huge. I'm not messing with him.
He is so big. He's a giant. And he's my dad's age, which is crazy. Crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't understand.
Oh, my goodness.
So, hey, Jared is here today. This is a little bit of a unique podcast because often when you're on here, Jared, you've been on here several times. We'll talk about the sermon from Sunday or whatever. And man, today we want to talk about your story, like your testimony. So we're going to dig into that in just a few minutes. I'm really excited for the listener to hear your testimony, man. I know bits and pieces of it myself, and I'm sure I'm going to learn some new things today. So I'm pumped about that. But I'm really fired up for everyone to be blessed by what you have to share. But before we get there, I've got some serious questions for you.
All right.
Are you ready?
Bring them on.
All right, man. Favorite food, like all-time favorite food, what is it?
I'd go with a slab of ribs.
A slab of ribs.
Slab of ribs, man. Some fries, but yeah, some saucy ribs that just fall off the bone.
Is there a certain place you'd get those from?
No,
Like homemade?
Homemade is good. I'm just still trying to dial in the smoker and get them to fall off the bone right. But back in the day, there was a place called Bugaboo Creek. That was a steakhouse, and their ribs. It was always my birthday. We'd go there, and I'd get a whole rack of ribs.
Shout out to Bugaboo Creek.
Bugaboo Creek.
Is that in Boston?
It was up there, yeah.
Okay.
It was up there. There was this big moose on the wall that would talk all the time. It was weird, but they had the best ribs.
Nice, dude. Nice. That's awesome. Okay, so that's your favorite food.
Yeah.
We already know that you're a coffee drinker. Okay, so we know about that. Matter of fact, you and Callie, who, by the way, I'm interviewing Callie later on today. We're going to have a podcast with her, which I'm really excited about. Cool. But you guys, you both share a love for coffee, and y'all have made some syrups and
I roast coffee.
Your family and hers, you roast
coffee on the back porch, and it's a good pastime for me, and it's also something I enjoy drinking.
Yeah. That's really cool, man. It's cool because I think about, you guys live in the same neighborhood and your families connect, and you have the little back porch coffee thing and have your syrups that people love. So that's cool, man. That's a unique thing. Yeah. All right. So what do you think about people that drink coffee that you have to say a lot of words to order?
You mean Starbucks? I don't know if our podcast will get canceled if I continue, but my wife is one of those people. So she loves Starbucks. It is what it is. Yeah. To me, it's like I just drink black coffee. Yeah. And I like it nice and smooth. I can't drink their black coffee.
Yeah. Well, I hope your personality is better than your coffee order. It's pretty boring.
Yeah. Right now it seems boring. Yeah, but
your coffee order does. Awesome, dude. All right. Do you have a favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie of all time would be, it's kind of like the Batman trilogy for me. Okay. Christian Bale, Batman. Okay. Probably the first one for me was the best one.
All right.
A lot of people say the Joker was great. I liked Bane. That dude was ripped. All right. Tom Hardy, he got ripped for that part, but the first Batman of the trilogy was really good.
Awesome. I don't know any of these people. I know you have tattoos though. Do you have a Batman tattoo?
I don't. No,
Is
no
that
Batman
next?
tattoo. Someday maybe. That'd be wild.
I think that'd be amazing.
I do have a coffee tattoo. So
it's pretty cool though. Yeah. Hey, so I know you like to work out. You're a muscular guy. All the dudes listen to this. They always like this question. What do you do? What's your workout routine?
My workout routine has shifted as I progressed into my 40th year of life.
Okay.
All right. I found myself like taking up a lot of time at night to go to the gym. So I was realizing my sleep habits were not great. And so I downloaded this app called Ladder.
Okay.
And there's a personal trainer on there that walks you through different workouts. It takes about 35 minutes. And I just use some free weights and dumbbells at home. So just some basic stuff, a lot of legs, arms, back, all the things. So
So on that front, what are some of the differences you've seen in doing that as opposed to just your common like gym routine?
Yeah, I'm doing it more often.
Okay.
Working out more often rather than driving all the way to the gym and stuff like that. So, and it's right in my home, so I can do it there.
Yeah.
And then I can just really I don't have to fight anybody for the weights.
Yeah.
They're mine.
That's
so
nice.
Yeah.
You can also travel with them pretty easy. Throw them in there.
I could bring them here.
Yeah, you could.
I have.
You have.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Long days here. I'm trying to get a little workout in.
All right, man. We're gonna between you and Kevin, man. We're gonna have everybody listen to this. They're gonna be ripped up, man. They're gonna be ready to go. Awesome, dude. Well, hey, one more question, and then we'll dive in. So, I think readers are leaders, and I know you like to, and leaders are readers. So I know you like to read. This may be hard to distill, but can you give us a couple books that have just been instrumental for you along the way?
Yeah. Gentle and Lowly.
Yeah.
That's a book I'll read every year, at least once a year, just to get back to where Jesus is, who he is in my life, and how his heart. And the premise of the book is around Jesus' heart.
Yeah.
And how he is gentle and he is humble, he is lowly, and he meets us right there, and how we ought to model that. So I think that's just really good for me to sit in.
Such a good book, man.
It's been very helpful. The second book on the back end of that is also same series, same author, Deeper.
Yeah.
It's more of a weighty topic of sin and how to just kind of plod through sin and deal with it with the Lord. So that was a very, very good book.
It's called Deeper?
Deeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I've not read that one.
It's very good.
Gentle and Lowly was awesome, though.
Yeah.
So good.
So those are two books that stick out to me that are just like, man, these are some books I'll go back to just to reflect and have some time with the Lord on, and that just speak life into me.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Awesome, man. So I lied. I have one more question. Who's going to win the College World Series?
Oh, wow. UNC has a good shot.
UNC's good, dude.
I mean, they're
good.
They got beat by NC State the other day, but
they took 2 out of 3 from them. I think.
Yeah. But yeah, they're second in the nation right now.
I think so.
So
yeah,
I'm gonna pull for them.
Yeah,
right now. I know Florida. They're not even. Is Florida even ranked right now,
bro? Get out of here.
What did you?
Yeah, they are. They're actually
okay.
They had a little bit of a rough streak.
Okay,
but they're peaking at the right time. So I think maybe they're like maybe 15, 16 in the nation right now. But they're gonna host. Like they're doing really well.
Cool.
They're in the SEC tournament right now, like as we're doing this interview. So we'll see how they do. But yeah, they're kind of peaking at the right time. Our pitching's like legit. Our pitching, as far as ability, as far as talent goes, like we may have one of the best like pitching fields in all of baseball. It's just a matter of putting it all together in the same day. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know how that goes. So, but yeah, they're starting to peak a little bit right now. They beat Vanderbilt yesterday. So in the tournament, which is good. Yeah. So, but yeah, you're right, man. UNC's looking good. They look sharp.
Yeah.
They look sharp.
I mean, they have for a little while now.
Yeah, they have. And Campbell had a really good year this year. I don't even know where they are in the tournament, but Campbell had a great year.
Okay. Go Campbells.
Go Cast, my team, man.
Yep.
I feel like I can't cheer for UNC, NC State, or Duke because there's so many folks at our church that are just impassioned by their team, right?
Yep.
And so I have to be careful from the pulpit. But man, nobody seems to care that I'll just root for Campbell and we're good. You know.
Yep.
Awesome,
someone's going to throw something at you someday.
They are. Dude, so legitimately, I said something about, I don't even know, I made like a joke about Campbell, and I legitimately like him. Both of us live close to Campbell University, so like I've gone to some of their baseball games and stuff. I made a joke about him on a Sunday, and a wide receiver that plays football for Campbell football came up to me after the service. He's like, bro, I play.
No way.
He's like, I'm a receiver for them, bro. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry.
Oh, man.
So anyway, you got to be careful what you say. But Jared, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. We want to hear a little bit about your story. So we'll just kind of do this in a way that breaks down like a typical pattern for telling your story, right? Your testimony. So want to talk about your story before Jesus. Want to talk about the turning point in your life. What was that moment, that conversation, that season when the gospel became personal for you? And then life changed since then. how's Jesus transform your life, your relationships, your purpose, and then maybe any encouragement you want to offer to others. But man, I think everybody would be really interested to hear your story. So let's begin, man. What was your life like before Jesus? Tell us about that.
Well, growing up in Boston, right outside the city, I grew up with a family of 5. So me, my brother, and my sister. I'm the middle child. I grew up in a pastor's home. So my dad was a pastor my whole life. Which is kind of rare up in the Northeast, because you would think like typically there's not a lot of Baptist pastors up there, which he was a Baptist pastor, and majority of people are either Catholic or Jewish up there. Wow. So I was kind of like teased a little bit growing up, just because like, hey, how do you even exist? How's your dad married? So there was a disconnect there amongst my friends and stuff of
just for being a PK,
but also like they saw priests as not being able to get married. So
got it.
There was that distinguishing mark of like my dad was married and had kids, and like
that's weird for people.
Yeah, it was different. So just growing up in the church. We would say like now this was probably like a church plant that my dad took over 2 weeks after it was started. Wow. So very young, and my parents were first generation Christians.
Oh, no way.
So coming from a Catholic background.
Are they from that area?
They are they're from the western part of Massachusetts. Okay. So my dad got saved in the Air Force and surrendered to ministry there, and went to Bible school and all the things, and then became a pastor. So so first generation Christians, a lot came with that. When I got saved, I was probably, I recognized the need for Jesus, recognized the need for forgiveness, and like a need for a savior, early at like maybe 6 years old. Like I remember like praying, God save me, like Jesus save me, like I need you. Got baptized shortly after that. Kind of funny story. You can make fun of me or not, but I wore goggles in the baptism.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Come on.
Yeah, bro. I remember bright orange goggles.
So why?
Man.
Why did we wear goggles?
I didn't like going underwater without them.
Okay, so,
it's
that's amazing.
One of those things, man. But yeah.
Do we have any pictures of that?
Yeah, there's probably one out there.
Okay, all right.
It's old school though.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so So growing up, church was life. Like we did church all the time.
Did y'all live near the church?
We did at one point in East Boston. We lived close to that church. And then my dad eventually took over the church that birthed that church, and was the pastor there for 25 years.
Whoa.
Second pastor of the church in 50 years.
Wow.
So, so there's a lot there. But growing up, like church was a lot of our life. My mom was a nurse, and so she worked full time. My dad worked full time with the church. My dad even sometimes worked 2 jobs because the church didn't, at one point, couldn't pay him.
Sure.
So he was working manager of McDonald's to provide for us. So a lot there, to where like ministry was life for my dad, and ended up like from an early age, I started playing baseball. Just had natural ability to play, and they poured a lot into that for me. Which I'm grateful for, but also like baseball became my life. And with that life comes like the need for like popularity, and I think like trying to be in with that crowd. In my teen years, kind of like fell into some of that, trying to be like one of the cool guys, the jocks of the school and all that. So my life kind of turned a little bit in high school, and I was doing really well with baseball and getting looked at for colleges and stuff like that. And so my life, my early childhood, I would say, was very consumed with baseball and sports. My parents would never let me play, though, on Sunday. Right. Like if it conflicted with church in the morning, I wasn't there. So I couldn't even play football till I was in 6th grade, because up north football, like Pop Warner, was Sunday mornings.
No way.
So first game was at 8 a.m. for the young kids,
on Sundays.
And then it would progress through the day. So
you mentioned baseball became your life. Like when did you notice? Obviously, this is looking backwards, but like if you had to pinpoint like a time frame of when that started happening. Yeah. Around about rough estimate, like how old were you?
I was 14. Okay. When I realized, man, I have something here. That I was putting a lot of my time into, a lot of my effort. There was an all-star team that I was put on, and we went to like a New England regionals. We went to like one of the like higher ranking tournaments to play in as 14-year-olds, and at that point we were like making newspapers and like getting a lot of publicity from our region, and it was just like, wow, what's going on here? You know,
Did you play on Sundays then, or no?
We traveled. I don't think that might have been a weekend thing where it was like during the summer that we went. Might have been a full week.
Gotcha.
It was a long time ago.
But
I'm not sure. Yeah. So we went to New York, New Jersey.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say like 14 years old, I realized, man, I've got something here. I could maybe see this for the future. Mm-hmm. Definitely wanted to play for the Red Sox. Like that was my dream, like that, or become a Boston cop. Those are my two things in life: be a cop in Boston or play for the Boston Red Sox.
Wow.
Definitely not the Yankees. But so I put a lot into baseball, and my parents did too. And so that became a big part of my life. Like I said, I had a couple good friends in high school. One really close friend, his name was Jared. We met like 6th grade, and we were just buddies, man. We were like best of friends, and that'll be part of my story here in a little bit. But so baseball was like my ticket to school, like to college. Really was like trying to ride that so that I didn't have to do schoolwork.
Yes.
You know, I'm not the most studious person, but my baseball was my life, and so I went to school, college life, kind of just like trying to fit in, trying to see what was out there. Didn't really know like where I was going to go academically.
Sure.
I was thinking criminal justice and going to the police force.
Yeah.
So I was studying that. Went to Liberty for a semester.
Go Flames.
Didn't go back, just for various reasons that won't be mentioned on this podcast. But I tried to play baseball there, and actually had an offer to play at a D3 school up in Boston, and ended up taking that opportunity and transferring out of Liberty to go play baseball.
Yeah.
The coach was like, "Yeah, we would love to have you," and went and transferred there to a small school there, and played 4 years of baseball in college. Nice. Again, that was my life. That was my identity, really. Having a walk with Jesus was not something that was like forefront of my mind. And
was it on your mind at all? Because I know you made that decision at 6. So how did that relationship? How did that go? Like on any level, throughout your like high school, college years? Like what would you say the temperature of that relationship was
with Jesus? Was I would say it was warm.
Yeah.
I mean, I was praying a lot. Like I knew God was there, and I knew He was in my life. I was grateful for the things that He'd blessed me with, and like, but when we talk like discipleship, right? And we talk like, hey, what's it like to walk with somebody as a follower of Jesus, or what's it like to just have that relationship with Him? I think that was lacking in my life. It not all like anyone's fault, but I think it was just the culture that I was raised in, and maybe the lack of resourcing at that time, that time of life, late 90s, early 2000s. Lifeway, I don't know if it existed at that point, but it definitely wasn't as big as it is now to resource families and disciple families and stuff like that. So we were kind of doing things on our own, you know, and maybe checking the boxes here and there, but my prayer life was good, like just reaching out to God and in different things of life. My dad would come down and pray with me before games and stuff like that. But yeah, I wouldn't say I was like didn't have any faith in God or in my walk with Jesus. It just wasn't a close walk or a mature walk, if you will.
Gotcha.
So in college, I was exposed to a lot of things in college that, looking back now, regret, but know that it's like part of my story. And just party life and baseball life just kind of ruled things for me, and definitely was not walking close with Jesus at that time. And so big part of my story, and I think a turning point of like, man, this actually didn't bring me any closer to God, is in 2006, I received a phone call. It was late June, from my brother, in that summertime. And he told me that one of my best friends was missing. And I asked for more details, and he said he went on a rafting trip with a friend. His raft tipped over, and he never came up.
Wow.
And so there's a 5-day search for him. Day 5, they found his body a mile down the river. And at that point, I really questioned a lot of my life, like of God, essentially. Like questioned a lot, like, God, what are you doing? Like, you have this amazing guy who, from what I could tell, was a Christian, like for sure, was a follower of Jesus. Someone who loved his family, who was his parents' only son, his sister's only brother, and like 6'4", 220, built dude, and he's gone.
Yeah.
For me at 20 years old, I was like, man, what's going on here? Like, God, why would you do this? Why would you do this to this family? I just questioned a lot. Like, didn't really like have answers, but questioned. So that summer, was playing some summer ball, get back to school. And it was in a night class in September. So 3 months later, receive another phone call from a high school friend. And I was like, I don't know why he's calling me right now in the middle of this class.
Yeah.
And, he called me twice. And so I was like, I probably should pick this up. So I take the phone call, and, he tells me that my very best friend, Jared, who I mentioned earlier, was killed in action in Iraq. And, his tank was hit with an IED, and he was the only one to not make it home. And that was, probably the worst day of my life. And that was 20 years ago this year.
Yeah.
So, I'm getting old.
Yeah.
That's what that says. But, that was probably one of the darker days and darker seasons of my life, to where, I just at that point was like really angry.
Yeah.
Angry with God for taking 2 of my best friends.
Yeah.
Jared was an only child of a single mom. And I was just reeling for her, like, man, why all this happening? God, what's your plan? Like, are you even there? So, and I'm kind of ashamed to like look back on that and question God. I think about Job, now looking at his life and the disaster of a life that he went through. And then God says, like, were you there when I made the world?
Right. And
I look back and say, like, God, I know you were there. Like, this is part of your world, not my world. Like, I'm stepping into your sovereignty and knowing that you've got control on this.
That's right.
Even though it really is not cool right now. For this to happen. And that's something I've had to come to like grips with. I think anyone who's lost somebody, you never get over it. Right. You never get over it. You never like forget your friends or your loved ones that have gone, passed away. But I look back and say, man, I wish I would have put more faith in God in that season. But what he's done is taken that and used that part of my life to like really pull me out of a dark place. I went down a route in that season of my life that just was terrible. In my eyes, like, would not recommend it for anybody. Don't want to like relive it, but it was not a happy season of my life. What did transpire about a year later was I was on the West Coast playing baseball. So this is 2007. I was on the West Coast playing baseball, living a life that I am not proud to live or say I lived, and started Facebooking. Like, this is back when you had to message people and like refresh your screen to see if you have an inbox message. And it was Lauren, who is now my wife, and she was in Africa on a missions trip that summer. Wow. And we had been Facebooking back and forth.
Were y'all dating then or no?
We weren't dating. We were friends from college. But God put her in my life to recognize that he's got something bigger. And she was a comfort. She was a friend. Even though she was on a different continent, I was on the West Coast, she was in Africa, and God used that season of our life to kind of grow together, and he healed me through some of my loss and grief through her being there. And so we got back to school in 2007 and started dating right away.
Okay.
Our first date was at Hershey Park in Pennsylvania.
Let's go.
So Lauren's from Lancaster, which is like Amish country.
Yeah.
And
shout out to Amish
she's not
food.
Amish though. I think we have to clarify that. She was not Amish. But she lived amongst the Amish. Hershey Park was our first date. And
so what do you do at Hershey Park? Help me know what you do.
It's like an
there.
amusement park.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
Candy, candy is
it's the chocolate place,
chocolate,
right?
Twizzlers.
That's not the
Reese's.
factory though, right?
There's a factory there.
Okay, but that's not where y'all went. Y'all went to like a theme park type deal.
It's kind of both in one.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you can buy whatever kind of candy you want there. Yeah.
That sounds
amazing.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So Hershey Park would be a good spot to go. But so we started dating in 2008. I proposed to her.
Okay.
We got married in 2009, and that's when things kind of clicked for me.
Okay.
We entered a church that we felt really connected to. This life group that was for newly married couples, which was us.
Yeah.
we were going into life like super blind at this point, like married life. And here's a bunch of couples just sitting in a room, sitting around a table, eating together weekly. These guys had something that I didn't have.
Right.
They had a true like relationship with Jesus that like they wanted everyone to know about, and they modeled it through their marriage. They modeled it through their friendships, and just how they walked through life. So I took a lot away from that life group.
Yeah.
That small group was very instrumental in our marriage. Some of the counsel that we received in the first year, we were living in Lancaster. So,
oh wow,
yeah,
okay.
we lived there for 5 years.
No way.
And this church, Millersville Bible Church, was right there, and it was probably something that just saved our marriage and increased like the love that we had for each other, and just really helped us along. So, and helped me deal with some of the things that I had been trying to overcome from just a couple of years before.
Yeah.
So
like holding on to the grief of your two friends.
Yeah.
Some of the decisions that you made that were just kind of, would you say, combative to what the Lord's will would be for your life? Because you're just like running in the opposite direction.
For sure.
And you would say the turning point is when you and Lauren, you met, you got married, and then you kind of established as a married couple, and said, hey man, as a husband and wife, like, let's start this thing right. Let's get connected to this church, which naturally got you connected to a life group.
Yeah.
And that was the turning point.
Yeah.
Talk more about that turning point, Jared. So you said that you had some formative relationships in there, some things that happened to maybe open your eyes a little bit, to be able to deal with some of the past struggles. First of all, I'm really sorry about what happened to your friends. And, man, that's a lot of grief, burden, weight to carry. And then there's a level of remorse and guilt for your own actions, some of the decisions that you make, right? Sinful decisions. And you're like trying to wade through all of that and reconcile that. And how can a loving God allow some of these things to happen? And then how can I, as one who I call a child of God, go my own way and do my own thing that's in opposition to what the Lord would have for me? And so you're wrestling through all these emotions, and now you're in this great responsibility that you and your wife share of like covenant marriage.
Yep.
And you're trying to navigate that well with all the emotions that are naturally attached to your history, your past. And not to mention and this is a gift, but you're also trying to reconcile, like, my dad's a pastor. You grew up as a PK. How much of my belief system is simply attached to like the framework that I had growing up, or the worldview that was presented to me growing up? And so there's like even an ownership question, right? Of like making this your own and really like understanding like who you are as a man of God. So saying all of that, it sounds like this church was formative for you, and it sounds like it was a turning point for you, particularly the life group. Talk more about like when your eyes opened up and you were able to say, man, yeah, like my rhythms prior to this were not in pursuit fully of the Lord. You know what I mean? Like I was chasing kind of my own pursuits and, depending on my own abilities, and like now I'm just ready to surrender all. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So in the church setting, in the life group that we got a part of. And I will say, like you mentioned, like my dad being a pastor, like that truly was, to me, growing up, it looked more like the family business for us.
Yeah.
And I really struggled making my faith my own faith.
Yeah.
So that's what you're saying, right? Like at this point in my life, so we were 24 when we got married.
Okay.
I really had to say, man, like this is my faith.
Right.
This is my faith in a God who is loving, who really like sent his son. And I knew that. I think I just pushed him away.
Yeah.
I just wanted to live my way, for so long.
Yes.
And I wanted life to like look happy. I wanted to like have a great career that made a lot of money, that if it wasn't baseball and it wasn't to be a police officer, like what was going to provide. But these guys in this group, like it was some retreats that we went on as a life group. It was, just intentional time, like the guys of this group. And I got to see something that I just was never modeled for me.
Yeah.
And I my eyes were open to that.
Wow.
And I said, man, I need that.
Wow.
I need these guys reading their Bible. I need these guys opening their home on Easter Sunday morning to a Bible study, like and worship in a home before we go to church at sunrise. Like, no, I wanted to sleep in if that was me, like 2 years before that.
Sure.
Like, I didn't think of like waking up to praise Jesus on Easter Sunday.
Sure.
But here we are.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is like discipleship. This is guys following after Jesus. This is following Jesus at its core. And I was like, man, I need this.
Yes.
This is like what I've been missing. And it really was. And once I surrendered to that life, to the life of following Jesus, like everything changed.
Come on.
Everything changed.
Come on.
Still got selfish desires, not perfect, like had to deal with a lot of grief, had to deal with a lot of shame for my past. A big part of my past, which I preached a sermon on, which was super awkward, by the way, because my parents were sitting like 4 rows deep.
Oh, no way.
But like just sexual sin was a big part of my life. And I had to let that go. And like Laura and I made a commitment to one another, and like that had to be so firm, right, in our marriage, that if I wasn't leading in that way and like leading towards Jesus and still succumb to my selfish desires, like our marriage would be wrecked,
right?
And I wasn't about to have that for her or for me. So
praise God for that.
So it was like in that season, 2009, 2010, where God was leading us to just grow in our faith, reading scripture more, praying together as a couple, and just leaning on our friends at that time. So, a lot of things changed with my career as well. So I was in banking for 2 years. Okay. If you know me in math, like
you're no mathlete.
It's a miracle that I got through those 2 years, but it actually helped me. But I'm sure helped me with like people skills and like just getting into the corporate world. And then I went to retail and was ended up becoming a district manager for a Kohl's department store over our loss prevention. So dealing with shoplifters and people stealing from the internal side of things, operations and stuff like that. And it was through Kohl's that like God led us down to North Carolina.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's your story to tell, but it's pretty amazing to see like just God's providence and his sovereignty and the way that your life has been directed. Because it sounds like you may have anticipated being a cop or playing baseball, and somehow you ended up in Lancaster, and now you're married and working at a bank, and then you end up at Kohl's, and then Kohl's brought you to North Carolina, and probably ministry was never on your radar in terms of vocation.
No, man.
Right? Especially like growing up the way you grew up.
I stiff arm that hard.
I would imagine. I mean, your mom and dad are awesome people. It's nothing against them. It's just one of those things when you grow up in that environment. That is a challenging thing for a pastor's kid to even think about, man, I don't know that I want to give my life to doing something like that. Even if you are a fully committed, firm believer, mature believer, it's like, man, like you watch your family walk through a lot of ups and downs, a lot of challenges, difficulties. And the last thing that's really on your mind is vocational ministry. Yeah. But I know during the shutdown, everything with Corona, I know some things shifted with your job, and you were serving as a deacon here, and God was just doing really neat things in your life. And it's amazing to see how the Lord has led us as a church to like just kind of call that out in you. And you came on as kids pastor and now serving as discipleship pastor. And I'm eager to see what else the Lord's going to do in and through you. And I hope it's partnering here for a really long time because, man, it's been amazing to see the Lord work in and through your life and Lauren's life and your kids' life. And so I appreciate your testimony so much. Man. For the people that are listening to this, what's some encouragement that you would offer them? Like, what would you say to someone who maybe right now they feel far from God? It's not that they don't believe in him. You know, maybe similar to what you were like in college. Like, man, I have an awareness of who God is. I may even pray. I may even do like a verse of the day with YouVersion or whatever. But man, like I'm kind of unsure about going all in. You know, maybe there's some sin issues, like holding on to some things that they've not surrendered, or maybe it's grief, similar to what you faced with, you know, loss of your friends, or it could be something that we haven't touched on today, but it's keeping them from taking that next step. Like, what would your encouragement be for those folks listening?
I'd say there's a couple of things. Like, I think getting yourself into community with other people that have faith, and like just looking around and saying, man, what am I missing? Yeah. Am I missing something? Am I off the mark? Am I holding on to these things that are like my desires? Right. And having the humility to like let go of those. I think that's a big part of my life is like, man, I was so prideful. I was so prideful. And sometimes that pride creeps in and it's terrible. But having the humility to say, oh, man, I was wrong. I was wrong. I need to let that go. That sin issue, confessing it, repenting of it, like moving away from it. That's so helpful. Yeah. That is so helpful for your relationship with others, but also with God. Yeah. And I think that is where I really needed to get. And God had some humbling moments for me to say, like, here I am. He's like literally saying, here I am. Yeah. Just surrender your life to me. Yeah. And it was ultimately like in a hotel room on a missions trip.
Come on.
I would say, go on a missions trip.
Yeah.
You'll get real close with God.
Yeah.
Seeing some things on a missions trip.
That's right.
Witnessing to others, like telling them about the God that you believe in. Yeah. The Jesus that saved your life. This Jesus that like has secured you in eternity. Man, what a cool thing to do. Yeah. So, amen. Yeah, I think there's community. Repent of your sins, like move away from them as best you can, like get accountability, but go on missions and like surrender your life to Jesus.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Well, hey, y'all, you heard it from Pastor Jared. Jesus is worth it. Yeah. So surrender everything to him, and you're never too far gone. He's able to handle all the hard things that you've been through and walk with you through that. So he's worth giving your entire life to. And I would say too, especially being our discipleship guy, I know this is like near and dear to your heart, as it is all of us. Man, if you're not in a life group, get in a life group. Yeah. You know, that's exactly Jared's testimony is like, man, getting in that group was life-changing for me. And that's not too strong of language. Like it really can be life-changing. So I just want to encourage anyone listening to this to follow suit in what Jared and Lauren did and just get yourself plugged into the church, take that next step. And man, if somebody's listening to this, Jared, and they're like, man, I would love to do that. I don't know how. I don't know what my next step is. What would you tell them?
Yeah, first off, you could either email myself. My info's on the website, or on our website under our life group tab. There's a Find a Life Group tab that you can just click on, fill out some information, and we'll get back with you this week. Awesome. On that, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, well, y'all check it out. Jared, thanks for being here, bro.
Thanks, Brandon.
All right, y'all have a good day. God bless.